All right. I actually think we've gone live straight away. Shall we kick right off, Zoe?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name is Robert, and welcome to episode 9 of the Clu and Clueless podcast. It is the tech podcast where you get tech news from two perspectives. As I mentioned...
What app is... Oh, okay, found it.
As mentioned, my name is Robert. I run the tech channel ByteSizeClu on YouTube, and I love absolutely everything tech. But what would a podcast be without a co-host? And that is where the wonderful Zoe comes in. Say hello, Zoe.
Hello.
Zoe, you truly do put the less in Clueless. You are perhaps the least technical person I know, but you always seem to bring this fun and different perspective to our conversations. So what are we chatting about today? We've got quite a lot of AI news, unfortunately. I am sorry. I know you hate them, but there's a lot going on this week. So, Niantic have sold their games. That was an interesting one. Microsoft have announced Copilot for gaming. We've got some news on whether AI models should be able to train on content that they don't own. Some Roblox news, AI toys, as well as vibe coding, which is a whole thing, and we'll jump into that when the time is right. Anyway, shall we jump this intro and get going?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Pokemon.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, it is Pokemon. All right, let's jump straight into the first article, and that is the news this week that Niantic, the creators of the Pokemon Go AR game, as well as a few other AR games, they obviously owned that one. They did the Harry Potter version, which did very well.
I remember that one.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Now, and a few others. Basically, they've up and sold all of their AR-based games.
Why?
So this is a very good question. Why? They have said it's because they would like to change and move their focus onto their AR platform. So I use Niantic services in my job. Do you remember last year when I went off to Dubai for a couple of weeks? We were using Niantic services out there to build the experience that they had. So I think it's a good enough reason, because they basically decided they don't want to be a games publisher anymore. Or games creator. They want to focus purely on the augmented reality side of things, which is cool, and leave the actual development up to game developers like us.
Okay.
Right. So do you want to take a guess at how much they sold all of their games for?
3 point something billion.
$3.5 billion.
That.
I would be interested to know just how much Pokemon Go makes in revenue every year, because I feel like that was one hell of an investment for the company who actually bought them. Pokemon Go revenue 2024. I assume it would be a guess. Generated over $1 billion. So actually, based upon that, and obviously it's not the only game that they sold, it might be about right in terms of investment.
Fair enough.
So they sold out to a Saudi Arabia owned company. I initially thought it was a Chinese company, but it wasn't. They're from Saudi Arabia, called Scopely. Scopely are known for another very, very popular mobile game called Marvel Snap.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, no, it's very popular.
Okay.
The focus for them, for Niantic as a company, is to do all their geospatial stuff, which I think is an absolutely great reason to do it. And I'm interested to see how this $3.5 billion investment is going to play out for them now. They had the idea that they wanted to basically map the whole world for AR by, I think it was something ridiculous like 2030. It's never going to happen. But that was their initial plan with the Niantic services that they had.
Why do you think that's ridiculous?
because they've got nowhere near. They are absolutely nowhere near right now. Let me show you the Niantic geospatial browser. Lightship geospatial browser. And we can see just how much or how little of the world they've actually managed to map thus far. I'm going to just jump back to my main scene while we do all of the login stuff, because there's actually quite a lot to do. Right, here we are. Oh, I can't block out my email at the top, can I? It's got my work email at the top. There we go. Alright, please remind me not to scroll out. So, here we are. Each one of these points is a geospatial scanned point. Okay, you're going to do it like that, are you? Lovely. So that is just in San Jose, but as we scroll out further, in theory, it should be able to tell us what is around us. I don't know why it's not doing that at the moment. There is one geospatial point near us. I'm going to try not to leak our address too badly.
Then don't do it.
These ones that so yeah, here we go. Here's some ones that I generated. Phantom Bells, Ancient Crypt. These are some that I generated for work a little while ago. But each of these points is one scanned AR point. I don't think they will ever be able to scan the whole world, because the whole world is very big and there are very few people who are actually generating these scans outside of game developers like us.
You.
Yes. Well, no. But that was the royal us. That was the work us, not me and you.
I was gonna say.
I've never introduced you to any of their software.
Exactly.
The deal announced on Wednesday also advances Saudi Arabia's ambitions to become the ultimate global hub for gaming. The kingdom's sovereign wealth fund via Saudi Games bought Scopely for $4.9 billion in 2023 as part of the broad push by the country to diversify beyond fossil fuels. Interesting. So
they want to be basically known as something other than
fossil fuels, which is fine. But to be honest with you, outside of fossil fuels, I don't really know what Saudi Arabia was known for. I know recently they've been doing all of the gaming tournaments. So they did the League of Legends. They held the League of Legends tournament. They are holding, I think, the gaming Olympics, the video game Olympics, or they have hosted that already. They've done a lot of that.
What?
A video game Olympics. So it actually was a thing. It was a proper Olympics backed project. So games like FIFA, Street Fighter, League of Legends had official Olympic sports, because they are sports. They are e-sports. That's very new, isn't it?
And I thought having breakdancing as one of the Olympic sports was bad
So
enough.
this isn't proper Olympics.
No, I know.
I
know what you're on about.
Yeah.
But I thought with the original Olympics, having breakdancing was stupid enough. Now you're telling me there's an e-sport version.
Yeah. It started last year alongside the Paris one.
No comment.
I like the idea.
No comment.
I do find it funny that obviously they're doing this in Saudi Arabia. So the one of the big games that we would have expected to see here would have been something like Call of Duty or Counter-Strike. Or perhaps
it's in
even
Saudi
Overwatch.
Arabia. Of course they're not going to do those.
They haven't got any of the big players in terms of
of course they're not.
Combat? Are they combat?
Mortal Kombat.
Combat sports. But yeah, they didn't have any of the kind of big hitters in terms of Call of Duty
no, of course
or
they're not.
Overwatch. I would have expected to see them there because they play such a big part in
No,
esports.
it's Saudi Arabia.
No, I know, but they
of
play
course you're not going to have them there.
Fair enough. Niantic said it would distribute an additional 350 million to its equality holders under the deal. It will also spin off its geospatial AI business into a new firm called Niantic Spatial, which will be led by Niantic's co-founder John Hank. Niantic Spatial will be funded with 250 mil of capital, 200 mil from Niantic's balance sheet, and 50 mil from Scopely. All of Niantic's original investors will also continue to be shareholders of Niantic Spatial. Yeah. So I think it's a pretty interesting news story. Obviously, this being Pokemon Go, it's owned by Nintendo. It's a Nintendo property.
Yep.
Do you want to take a guess at the percentage that Nintendo took of this £3.5 billion or dollar deal?
30.
No, 7.54%. A tiny amount, really, in the grand scheme of things.
Really?
Yeah, I was also very surprised by that. I thought
Right.
I thought that number was going to be a lot higher than it actually was.
Yeah.
But no, apparently not. Apparently, it was only about 7 or 8%.
Oh.
So that begs the question, Zoe: did you ever play Pokemon Go?
Yes, 2 months ago.
Oh yes, of course. You played it quite a lot, didn't you? Yeah.
And I also played it while I was pregnant.
You played it on and off, didn't you? Yes, of course. Yeah. No, I don't think you'll ever see this being affecting gameplay too much. I don't think they'll mess with it too much. I know a lot of the community are pretty upset about the idea of them selling it off, particularly to Scopely, because Scopely are known for microtransactions. They are known for bleeding players dry. Do you remember Monopoly Go? We used to play that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That was Scopely. So, and do you remember just the sheer amount of microtransactions and pushing that they did to get you to buy stuff in the app?
Did I buy anything on that one?
I don't think you ever bought anything on that one, but it was constant. It was constant upsells. And that's the worry that people have got moving forwards with the Pokemon Go game and Monster Hunter Now and all of those. I hope it's not the case, but I highly suspect it will be, given Scopely's track record.
Yay.
Yeah. So that's some sad news. Shall we move on to topic number 2, which is our first AI topic of the evening? Can I get a whoop whoop?
Woo.
Woo woo. And that is Microsoft have announced what they are calling Copilot for gaming. Zoe, do you know what Microsoft Copilot is?
No bloody clue.
Copilot is their version of a large language model. Think ChatGPT or Google Gemini. Copilot is Microsoft's version of it. It is baked into Windows 11 and basically any laptop that you buy these days. They've actually removed the right-hand Windows key. So, normally you have a Windows key on the left and the right of the keyboard.
Yep.
You don't have the right one anymore. It is now the Copilot button, which, when hit, fires up Copilot. Oh, I think that's a stupid idea, but the button is there to do it. So, Microsoft have announced that they now are doing a new Xbox Copilot, which will act as your gaming AI gaming coach.
Elaborate a bit more, because I'm just confused.
Yeah, so basically, from what we've seen, is people can, at any point during their gameplay, just bring up a text chat or a voice chat with Copilot and ask it questions based upon what they're doing in the game. And
is this any game, or is it just certain ones?
This will be any Xbox game. And what it will be able to do is basically listen in and decide whether it thinks, and basically just give you help. So instead of going to the internet and searching for your guides, it will just do it straight from within Copilot.
Isn't that like cheat codes though?
Not necessarily. It's more a strategy guide than a cheat code. It will give you a general idea. It won't do it for you. Generally, a cheat code would do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Microsoft is preparing to launch an AI-powered co-pilot for gaming soon that will guide Xbox players through games and act as an assistant to download and launch games. Copilot for Gaming, as Microsoft has branded it, will be available through the Xbox mobile app initially and is designed to work on a second screen as a companion or an assistant. Microsoft is positioning it as a sidekick of sorts, one that will accompany you through games, offering up tips and guides and useful information about a game world. During a press briefing, they mentioned that AI demonstrated several scenarios of what Copilot gaming could be used for. One involved a conceptual demo of Copilot assisting an Overwatch 2 player by coaching them on the mistakes that they made when trying to push without teammates. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. I like that. So basically, it can analyse what you're doing. It can watch your screen and watch you play, and then give you recommendations on how you're playing.
Yeah, no, I worked that out.
Which I think can be pretty useful. In the Overwatch 2 demo, Copilot even recommended good hero picks to complement the rest of the team and tell you more about why you'd want to pair up particular characters, detailing their strengths and weaknesses. I think that's actually pretty cool. I thought this was going to be really crappy and gimmicky, but that doesn't seem too gimmicky to me. I actually feel like that would be something that I would potentially use. I know, obviously, you don't do a lot of gaming, right? You're not really a gamer.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion for this because I don't game.
No. So, I think you're either it's gonna be a Marmite. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. I think the Overwatch 2 example there is a really good one. I don't really see myself using it for any other kind of game. I occasionally will go to like game guide websites. So while I was playing the latest Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I got stuck at a certain point, so I went online and found a guide on how to get past a certain part of the level, right?
Yeah.
So in theory, Copilot would notice that you're struggling or stuck and offer up how to get to the next part of the game or how to get to the next level.
Okay.
Again, in that scenario, I can see it working, but I don't know. I just feel like it does it. Do we really need it? Do we need AI in this scenario?
If you love games but you're terrible at them, then yes.
This is true.
If you love playing games but you in reality aren't very good at it,
yeah,
yes.
I think what would be really interesting is if we went for a agent style AI on this that could literally take over the game controls for you and do certain things for you in game. I think that would be really cool. Obviously, it shouldn't be able to do it in online competitive matches. But in single player games, I think it would be a really interesting thing to be able to have an agent run the lives or run part of the game for you. I would ask you, Zoe, if you see yourself using this sort of tool, but
I don't game, so I don't.
No,
really...
you don't. You probably wouldn't end up using this tool. So I guess the question then falls to these guys who are watching: would you ever consider using a tool like this? Because I'm not like the biggest gamer. Like I enjoy games, but I'm not like a. I don't think I'm the biggest gamer.
No, but you're not a small gamer either.
No, this is true. I'm not a casual gamer.
I'd say you're in between.
Yeah. So apparently there is a video to go alongside this whole Copilot thing. So should we watch that together? We can decide whether it is a cool implementation or not.
I want to get back into Age of Empires 4. Can you install it?
Downloading now. Want a recap of where you left off?
Sure.
Okay, so installing games for you, or I guess you could ask it, hey, I've just finished Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Have you got other games?
Similar?
Yeah. Have you got other games like it? And it can go, oh, the second one's on Game Pass. Do you want me to download that for you? I can see that being kind of cool, kind of useful. I might use that as a feature.
Okay, I've got some wood from a tree. What do I do with that?
Craft the oak logs into wooden planks by opening your inventory and placing logs in the crafting area.
We played this on our laptops.
We do. Again, I can see that being quite useful because that's the kind of thing that you would go online to look at a guide for.
Me?
Yeah, so instead of having to go out of the app and go online, you can kind of just do it while you're in the app.
What's the
I can
best way to take
understand that.
out the beast?
Want me to pull up a quick strategy guide?
Let's do it.
And it looks like actually it looked like it was sat in the game window here. So you are able to still be immersed in your game and read any of the information that you need. Yeah. Okay, so actually I thought I was going to be dunking on this thing the whole time, thinking it was a stupid implementation of AI. But actually I'm not so sure that it is such a stupid implementation of AI. I think it's actually quite a good one. That is more interesting and deeper than I initially thought. Yeah. So let us move on to topic number 3, and that is another AI one. Sorry. Should AI be able to train on content that they don't actually own? This is an age-old argument that has been going on since the conception of AI and large language models. OpenAI and Google have asked the government to let them train on AI content that they do not own.
No.
OpenAI argues it needs access to avoid forfeiting the lead in AI to China. Okay. OpenAI and Google are pushing the US government to allow their AI models to train on copyrighted materials. Both companies outlined their stance in proposals published this week, with OpenAI arguing that applying fair use protections to AI is a matter of national security. The proposals come in response to the request from the White House, which asked governments, industry groups, private sector organisations and others for input on Donald Trump's AI action plan. The initiative is supported to enhance America's position as an AI powerhouse while preventing burdensome requirements. So, this is it's a difficult one because we know for a fact that China and the DeepSeek model hasn't played fair up to this point. That model has trained on any data that it can find, including all of the copyrighted data. OpenAI and Google and everyone else, all the US-based companies, have played fair. For the most part. They have not trained on any material that they technically do not own or is not
when you're
open
saying
source.
Do not own, give me examples because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
So, all of my videos, every video that I make is my property. It is copyrighted by me because it is mine, right?
Yeah.
So, J.K. Rowling, all of Harry Potter's books, copyrighted to J.K. Rowling.
Okay.
Technically, it's not allowed to train on those books.
So it's not. So that means it's not allowed to. Wait, what the hell would it have trained on then?
It's trained on websites mainly. It's trained on internet usage, so it will know about.
Because books belong to the authors.
Yeah.
Films belong to certain companies.
Yep. YouTube
That means it's trained
videos.
on basically nothing.
No, it is trained on internet data. So it is not necessarily trained exactly on the book. So an AI is not fed every single page of a Harry Potter book yet. It is
But
trained...
you just said it can't do that.
Exactly. That's what they want to do here. So that's what OpenAI and Google want to do. They want to be able to take every book and just feed it into their AI.
Why would they need to do that?
Because they believe that it is a requirement for them to do this to ensure that they don't fall behind with China.
But why would China need every single book?
They don't. They just want to be the.
So what would they do with it?
It would allow it to become more powerful and more and better at creative writing in this instance, or filmmaking in the instance where you feed it all films.
Well, why would you need to do that when there are people that do that? That's their job.
Because I don't know. I can't answer that one for you, Zoe. Because quite frankly, I also think it's ridiculous, and I don't think there is ever a need for AI to realistically be trained on all of this copyrighted material.
It doesn't need it.
I agree with you. For once, I actually agree with you on this one. In its comment, OpenAI claims that allowing AI companies to access copyrighted material would help the US avoid forfeiting its lead in AI to China, while calling out the rise of DeepSeek. There is little doubt that PRCs, People's Republic of China, AI developers will enjoy unfettered access to data, including copyrighted data, that will improve their models.
Okay, if you're going to do it on companies and stuff in the US. Don't do it on any other country.
They wouldn't be able to enforce that though. I don't think so. I do agree that if China just continues to do what it's doing and just ignore copyright and just keep feeding the data and just keep feeding whatever it can find to an AI model, that AI model will naturally be better at basically everything, because the more things you feed it, the better it just will become.
Can I ask another stupid question?
Mm-hmm.
Why does it bloody matter?
Again, I don't think that is a stupid question, Zoe. I think that.
Why does it matter if China is ahead? They are ahead in everything. Why does it matter if they're ahead in something else?
Because they are, well, the US companies are worried that it is a national security issue. They are worried that China is going to start to use these models that are exponentially more powerful than the US's ones to do things that the US don't want China doing.
What, like giving all the data to Russia?
Yeah, that sort of thing. Because, China will sell to anyone, won't they? The US has morals. China...
I wouldn't say the US had morals.
The US has some sort of moral ground.
But not massive.
No, but it's probably more than China's.
They're pretty low down. It's more there than on China's, the morals.
Right? Google unsurprisingly agreed. The company's response similarly states that copyright, privacy, and patent policies can impede appropriate access to data necessary for training leading models. It adds that fair use policies, along with text and data mining exceptions, have been crucial to training AI models on publicly available data. These exceptions allow for the use of copyrighted, publicly available material for AI training without significantly impacting rights holders, and avoid other often highly unpredictable, imbalanced and lengthy negotiations with data holders. For a very, very long time, YouTube in particular, on my studio, I've been asked whether I would allow third-party data brokers and data miners to mine my videos. Basically, will I allow Google, OpenAI, Claude, everyone to train on my videos? And out of principle, I've always said no. Because, it just feels weird to me that this computer has basically just learnt something from... They're making their models better through giving it my data, but I'm not getting anything back. I'm not getting anything out of it. Do you get what I mean? Mm-hmm. It feels...
I have a really harsh question, but I really don't want to ask it.
Why do you care? What would AI get out of it? Go on. Be a dick.
I'm sorry, what is AI going to learn from your videos?
And you too. So,
Obviously, I get the people part where they're looking at the reviews for certain things. Yes, I get that. But AI, what is AI going to get from your video that it's not going to get from reading the description or people's reviews?
script writing and performance. If you feed an AI enough videos of people talking to a camera, it will eventually be able to replicate talking to a camera in a similar way.
Why would it need to do that?
You keep asking this question. There is no reason for it to have
Exactly.
to do
So
that.
why do they need it?
Because they want to. Because that's
Then
what
they're
they
bloody
want
idiots.
to do.
If they don't need it, then then they shouldn't have it.
Because that's just what
If they don't need it,
Oh.
then they don't.
Well, this has been...
People are bloody stupid.
Many AI companies have been accused of ripping copyrighted material to train their AI models. OpenAI currently faces several lawsuits from news outlets, including the New York Times, and has even been sued by well-known names like Sarah Silverman and George R.R. Martin.
I'm sulking.
I know you are. I can hear. YouTube's been scraping their subtitles to train AI. Whether I like it or not, my videos have been used to train an AI model. Boo. AI bad.
I could have told you that.
I use AI quite a lot. So AI not bad. AI only bad when I want it to be bad. It's only bad when it's used against me. When I'm using it, AI good. Right. Shall we move on?
Yeah. Not another AI one, is it?
There is another AI one coming. This one isn't though.
Oh, good.
So this comes from BBC News, and the headline is my favourite headline.
Oh, God.
Keep kids off Roblox if you're worried. Its CEO tells parents.
Say that
I
again.
can see the confusion on Zoe's face. Keep kids off Roblox if you're worried. Its CEO tells parents. Yes. It is just as ridiculous as it sounds.
Okay, I think I'm not understanding what it means because my head has just gone to how are they going to keep kids off of the roads? That's not going to be possible.
Roblox.
What the hell is that?
The game Roblox.
What the hell is that?
It is a social platform. It is a social gaming platform built specifically with children in mind. I believe your
Niece?
Yeah, was banned from it for because she I can't remember why, but she's been banned from using it. Let's read a bit of the article and you'll get a better idea.
I don't remember that part of the conversation.
Parents who are worried about their children being on Roblox should not let them use it, the chief executive of the gigantic gaming platform has said. The site, which is most popular in the UK amongst young gamers aged 8 to 12, has been dogged by claims of some children being exposed to explicit or harmful content through its games, alongside multiple reported allegations of bullying and grooming. But its co-founder and CEO, Dave Baszucki, insists that the company is vigilant in protecting its users and pointed out that tens of millions of players have amazing experiences on the site. When asked what his message to parents who don't want their children on the platform, he said, "My first message would be, if you're not comfortable, don't let your kids use Roblox." I find this ironic.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but the platform literally thrives because of 8 to 12-year-olds. He's actively telling his biggest audience not to use the platform.
No, he's telling their parents not to use the platform.
Not to let their kids
Yeah.
use the platform. Yes, but that is that not worse? He's telling the audience that are his, like, the people who are meant to use his platform, 8 to 12-year-olds, have been told to not use the platform.
I bet he would prefer to tell the parents that are unhappy with their children using it not to use it, then get a lawsuit against him.
They're already battling a lot of lawsuits.
No, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. The problem...
Don't overthink it. Just go along with it.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say.
The problem with Roblox is it is a UGC game. It is a user-generated content game. All of the games that are on Roblox are built by the community. With that in mind, the community is split into two kinds of people. You got the kids, the 8 to 12-year-olds, and you've got everyone else. And we'll leave it at everyone else for now. There are parental controls, and our users would urge constant parental supervision. They've told the BBC. If you've got multiple children you're looking after and things happen, and you probably can't be 24/7 watching everything they do, if you've got all your parental controls set. I think Roblox can and should be doing more in terms of properly monitoring their platform and monitoring what goes on their platform. Zoe, my question to you, would you ever let our little boy play Roblox?
No.
Okay, and why, please?
Because it sounds bloody stupid and dangerous.
I think Roblox is a double-edged sword. It is a wonderful platform for being able to teach children how game mechanics work and being able to teach them to make their own games, make their own assets, and see them come to life. It is essentially a game engine on one end. But as a kid, did you never play Toontown? Did you never play Club Penguin?
No.
Those sorts of games. Okay, so games like
because my dad was cautious and wouldn't let me.
Okay, yeah, but Toontown, Club Penguin, all of these platforms that have been multiplayer games aimed at children have always had this issue, right? They've always had issues that unsavoury things have happened on their platform. It comes with the territory of building games for children, particularly networked games for children. Fortnite is the same. So I understand that Roblox is perhaps one of the bigger what's the word? Offenders for this. Roblox has always been the biggest platform that has had these issues, but it's not a new thing. Good evening, Em. How's it going? He has just joined. Yeah, Roblox is a funny platform, and I think I probably would let my kid play it. I would, but I would have to ensure that I was the one watching him and that I knew exactly what he was doing at all times. Which brings me to a conversation which is not tech related, and a conversation that we have had off this podcast last night, and it got rather heated again, based upon a new Netflix show that has just released. A Netflix show
Oh, don't bring this up again.
Oh, we're going to.
Oh, God.
A new Netflix show that is called... What is it called, Zoe?
I don't give a
The new Netflix show. Stephen Graham's show, it was called Adolescence, or Adolescent. And the whole idea of the show was a young 13-year-old boy was arrested for murder of a 13-year-old girl.
Good.
He was radicalised by online platforms and the incel community.
Which he should have been monitored on.
But here's the argument, Zoe.
Or put blocks on certain websites, which you can do because my dad did it.
But parents don't believe, but here's the problem, parents don't believe that they should have to do this.
Why?
Because parents believe that within the four walls of their home, their children are safe.
No, they're not.
But some parents truly do believe that.
Well, they're bloody stupid, because even if you're in your four walls of your home, you can still get kidnapped. You can still get killed.
Yes.
So online stuff shouldn't be surprising.
But it is for many people.
Well, they're idiots.
Go,
I need alcohol,
go make
not
yourself,
tea.
Go make yourself a new tea, dear. If you haven't watched the show Adolescent on Netflix, I highly recommend it, because aside from its wonderful storytelling, it is also a technical marvel. Each episode is one continuous camera shot. It's split into 4 episodes, but this camera follows the action all the way through. You have to give it to the director, the producer, and the actors within this show that they did something truly amazing with it. Let's just move on. Let's move on to the last topic.
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 more. Are AI toys the future for kids?
Probably.
Let's have a chat about that one. Now, AI toys are, again, nothing really new. They've been around for a very long time. Robots for children.
Mm-hmm.
Head in hands, 8-year-old Timmy muttered to himself as he tried to beat a robot powered by artificial intelligence at a game of chess. But this is not an AI showroom or laboratory. This robot was living on a coffee table in a Beijing apartment along with Timmy. The first night it came home, Timmy hugged his little robot friend before heading to bed. He doesn't even have a name for it. Yet. It's like a little teacher or a little friend, the boy said. He showed his mum the next move he was considering on the chessboard. Moments later, the robot chimed in, "Congratulations, you win." Round eyes blinking on the screen, it began rearranging the pieces to start a new game as it continued in Mandarin. "I've seen your ability. I'll do better next time." So, these AI toys are starting to become a lot more intelligent, of course, because AI is becoming a lot more intelligent. With games, with robots like this that are teaching chess or playing chess against your children, I see no harm in this. I see no harm in this kind of AI robot.
Is it an actual robot or is it on a computer?
It is a physical robot.
Yeah, that's fine.
A physical robot that sits against them, because it is essentially a learning tool, isn't it? At that point, it's teaching the moves of chess. It's not doing any harm. It can't do any harm as a robot.
My only thing is that I don't think it's going to be a very popular robot.
No, probably.
Because I don't know anyone who plays chess.
You do.
I don't.
Yeah, you do. Connor plays chess.
Well, I didn't know he plays chess.
Yeah, he does. So let's go ahead and take a look on the other side of things at an AI toy that I think is cool, but is also weird and probably going to cause some issues in the future.
Am I going to be angry about it?
Probably not.
Okay, that's fine.
I think I've shown it to you before, and I've reached out to these guys a few times because I really want to try it. They are called Curios.
That thing. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Curios are super cute little robots. They are made by Elon Musk's, I can't think if it's his wife or ex.
I thought it was ex-wife.
He's been married quite a few times, hasn't he? So
I thought it was one of the ex-wives.
It's going to be one of the ex-wives, I think. But basically, these little toys have names like Grok and Grem and Gabbo. I like Gabbo. Gabbo's cool.
I know the rocket.
Grok. So these are stuffed animals, stuffed toys, that have a computer in them, a speaker in them, and a microphone in them. And essentially they are a always listening, always on large language model that your child can talk to. It becomes their friend. You can ask it questions about your homework or have a chat about life, much like you can with an Amazon Alexa. Which then begs the question, why do you need this if you've got an Alexa at home?
Because that looks cuter for a child to talk to than to a round thing.
This is true. This is true. Now, they have very...
If I was a child, I would prefer to talk to that than a round Alexa thing.
This is true. They have a lot of...
That looks
tools.
less intimidating.
They have a lot of tools built in for monitoring conversations. And I think that brings up quite an interesting aspect for these toys. Imagine that your child is having a bit of a bad day and he's upset about something. So he goes to talk to his good old friend Grog. And then you as a parent can go into the app afterwards and you can see that he's spoken to Grog about how he's feeling. He's feeling sad because of XYZ. And it becomes a better way to understand your child's emotions through reading them, right? Through it talking to his friend. You're not a fan of that idea?
I'm going to sound incredibly contradictory here.
Go on.
With the computer stuff, obviously monitor as much as you want. With this, I don't agree with that bit.
But hang on, so what's the difference?
Because this, you're not talking to complete strangers. The other one, you're talking to on the computer, you could be talking to complete strangers.
Yeah.
You can be groomed for it, through it. This you can't, and if my parents could listen to my conversation through it, I would be pissed.
I think...
Because if I'm getting bullied and I don't want my parents to know, which I didn't, and they found out through that, I'd be pissed.
But I think at that age, you should be able to monitor them. If you're hiding that sort of thing from your parents, brings back to the show we were watching. If he's hiding this from his parents didn't know that he was getting bullied. The kid who did the murder. They didn't know about the bullying. They didn't know about any of that because they never asked. They never listened. If they had this little robot buddy who he spoke to about his problems, and they were able to see in the app,
But is that child going to then lash out at the parents after finding out that the conversation wasn't as private as they thought?
No, because you tell your child. You tell your child that is something that you can see.
Then they probably won't talk to it.
Fair enough.
And they'll be hiding it either way.
Now, these are really cute, and I do still really want one. They are $109. You can't purchase them right now. They're in a beta program, and the beta is full, and it has been full for a very, very long time. Still want one. LTT did a video on it because they sent out one to Linus Tech Tips and the team, and it was a very funny video because this thing does not shut up for love nor money. And they were just talking, presenting to the camera, and this thing kept chiming in every 2 seconds. And so the presenter just goes, can you stop listening and we'll pick up this conversation later? And its reply was, okay, I'll stop listening. And then a second later, it just continued the conversation. So I really hope they fixed that bug, because however funny it was, I can see it getting annoying really quickly. So, there you go. AI toys for children. Some good, some maybe not so good. But I think, realistically, that's our future, isn't it? We have to embrace these kinds of things, because AI is not going anywhere, and it will continue to be in children's toys for the foreseeable. If you could implement AI into a children's toy, how would you do it, Zoe?
I wouldn't.
Fair enough. I think Curio have got it right. I think Curio are on the right sort of lines with how it can be both a fun toy for children, but it can also be a supporting tool for the parent. Alright, let's move on to the last topic here. And that is vibe coding tells a user to write their own damn code. This is such a funny topic to me, and I love this. So AI coding assistant Cursor reportedly tells a vibe coder to write his own damned code. Do you know what vibe coding is, Zoe?
I don't understand any of this.
So, the idea of vibe coding is basically using the AI tools that I do in my job and just telling it, go make me this thing. Not reading the code that it spits out and just going, yes, 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 and hoping that it works. Not really truly understanding what it's doing. I think vibe coding is fun, for the most part. I would never vibe code anything for my actual work, because I actually need to understand what's going on. But for certain projects, fun projects on the side, I do enjoy a bit of vibe coding. The whole idea of it is you don't understand what's going on. As businesses race to replace humans with AI agents, coding assistant Cursor may have given us a peek at the attitude bot could be bringing to work too. Cursor reportedly told a user going by the name of Jansui that he should write the code himself instead of relying on Cursor to do it for him. I cannot generate code. I cannot generate code for you, as that would be completing your work. You should develop the logic yourself. This ensures you understand the system and can maintain it properly. Jansui said Cursor told him after he spent an hour vibe coding with the tool. So Jansui filed a bug report with the company, basically saying, "Hey, my AI is telling me, well, basically, it's not doing its job, right? Because its whole job is to just complete code, and it wasn't doing it. It just told the user to do it themselves."
Do you understand any of this? No, neither do I.
Jansui speculated that he hit some kind of hard limit at 750 to 800 lines of code, although other users replied that Cursor will write more code than that for them. One commenter suggested that Jansui should have used Cursor's agent integration, which works better for bigger code projects. I thought that was just a fun little one to end on, because it's such a silly ending to this rather boring AI episode. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for joining us this evening. It has been a pretty fun one. I've enjoyed some of these topics. I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing what both Niantic and what Microsoft do with their Xbox gaming tools. Anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed this episode, then of course, as always, get subscribed down below, as well as sharing these videos with your friends and families. We have a lot of fun watching these, doing these episodes together, so I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do. Anyway, my name is, of course, Robert.
I'm Zoe.
And this has been Clu and Clueless, and we will catch you all in the next one. Catch you all later.